Hey everybody, it's me again, Chief Josh Yola here for TYT Sports. Thank you all so much for watching these videos, for supporting these videos, for showing TYT Sports and everybody else that the WWE is still popular and it is still a thing. Our last video, the top 10 feuds of all time, got over 4,600 views. Lots of great comments back and forth on people's opinions. That's what they like to see. That's what I like to see. Hey, 4,600 is a lot for a guy who's just shooting these in his living room. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. So let's dive right in to the 2016 Royal Rumble. Who was your 2016 Royal Rumble winner? It was this guy, Triple H. That's right, 46-year-old COO of the WWE, Triple H. Now, some people might think that was a little bit of a weird choice, but it makes sense when you think of it in context of there's no way Roman Reigns was going to overcome the Royal Rumble match stipulation where he was the first entrant and he had to outlast 29 other superstars simply to retain his belt. No way was that a believable storyline from the get-go. So we knew he was going to lose. The question was just to whom. A lot of people thought maybe Brock Lesnar was going to beat him. Some people even thought that maybe Daniel Bryan will come back and beat him. There were a lot of things swirling around, but the predominant theory was Triple H is going to come in as the surprise entrant. We haven't seen him in a super long time, and he has a lot of motivation to put a beat down on Roman Reigns. And sure enough, he showed up as the number 30 entrant, cleaned house, and ended up eliminating Roman Reigns. It was he and Dean Ambrose at the very end. He eliminates Ambrose, and Triple H is your Royal Rumble winner and your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion for the 14th time. So, congratulations, Triple H. Unfortunately, everybody knows you're just more of a placeholder until you and Roman Reigns face off at WrestleMania. But we'll talk about that later. There were some other really great parts to the Royal Rumble match itself. Sometimes in the Royal Rumble in the past, you get a lot of surprise entrants. They'll throw in like Hacksaw Jim Duggan will show up, or Kevin Nash, or somebody like that. It's a nice surprise. This year we didn't get a lot of those. Instead, we got two big surprises from some actual new employees at the company. One was AJ Styles. AJ Styles has been a fan favorite forever. He's been a pro wrestler for a long time in every other promotion except WWE. So a lot of people had been wondering for the longest time, when is he going to make that leap? When is WWE going to offer him a contract? And a few weeks ago, the news broke that he had been offered a contract. So there were a lot of people hoping that he would show up at the Royal Rumble. He showed up and he didn't disappoint. He gave a lot of energy. The crowd they popped huge for him. Everybody was just so happy to finally see him in a WWE ring. The second guy we got was Sami Zayn. We saw Sami Zayn a few months ago wrestle John Cena, and unfortunately he suffered a shoulder injury during that match. So he was sidelined for a while. But now he's back. He looks great. He looks healthy. He's a fantastic worker. He's probably going to go back to NXT and wrestle there for a little while before he moves up to the main roster. But it's just good to see that the surgery went well and he's back in the ring doing great things. The Royal Rumble set up some storylines moving forward. Some people, including myself, thought Brock Lesnar would have a legitimate shot at winning this Royal Rumble, but he was eliminated actually kind of early. I thought he would be at least maybe one of the last 2 or 3, not even. So he was eliminated by the Wyatt family. What I love about this is that it gets him out of the title picture, for one. So it's dangling this little shiny object in front of him of, hey, you need to deal with the Wyatts first, then you can go focus on the championship. So I can see some potentially great matches between him and the Wyatt family for the next pay-per-view, Fastlane in February, and then moving on to WrestleMania 32 with maybe him and Bray Wyatt having a singles match. And that could really bring the house down because both guys are fantastic workers. And I think it could be a really good time. That was the Royal Rumble. I mean, that was the main event of the show. But there were also great matches that happened well before that. So let's run down those really quickly. Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens had a last man standing match for the Intercontinental belt. Fantastic match. The guys took such great falls through tables and chairs. They put their bodies through hell. I'm really surprised that one of them didn't end up with a broken bone. But Kevin Owens did look like he was limping a little bit for the rest of the night and then even on Raw this evening. So I'm sure there was still some residual damage there. But Dean Ambrose comes away with the victory. Owens couldn't answer the 10 count, and so Ambrose retains as your Intercontinental Champion. New Day and the Usos. crowd was just not into it. They just could not stand the Usos, so everything the New Day did got huge cheers, partly because the New Day is extremely entertaining, and I love how they keep finding new ways to evolve and keep their gimmick fresh so it's not getting stale. But the crowd just would not buy anything the Usos were selling. So the New Day thankfully retained, and they can continue their reign of terror with the unicorn magic and everything else. It's fantastic. Kalisto and Alberto del Rio, I think this was the WWE trying to right a wrong in this match. Kalisto had won the United States Championship match from Alberto del Rio a little bit ago, and then he lost it a few days later, which was puzzling. Why are you going to cut the guy's legs out from under him? So fortunately, they were able to right it in this match, and they had a really good match again, some great Lucha Libre wrestling. By the way, if you're fans of that, Lucha Underground Season 2 premieres this week. Don't miss it. So I think the WWE is actually very aware of Lucha Underground and its growing popularity. And because Lucha Underground has their former WWE superstar in Rey Mysterio. And so WWE has been looking for someone to take over that mantle for the longest time, because Rey Mysterio brought in a very coveted demographic, a Latino demographic, to their viewers. And unfortunately, they just haven't had that for a while. People thought Sin Cara was going to be that guy, and unfortunately, the injury bug has bitten him as well. But Kalisto has all the talent in the world to be able to fill that role. So I think his future is very bright, and I'm glad that they corrected their mistake and gave him the U.S. title back. And then finally, we had a women's match, Charlotte and Becky. Normally, I'm not too keen on women's matches. I just don't think they're very good as of late. However, this one actually was very solid. Both women really put it all out there and had a fantastic match. This is what happens when you have clearly defined roles, when you have, hey, this is the face, this is the heel, this is the good guy, this is the bad guy, and now we can go at it. There's motivation for them to be fighting each other, and they had that, and it was fantastic. Wasn't too much a fan of the ending, where Charlotte retains her Divas division, her Divas belt, thanks to interference from her father. I think until Ric Flair steps aside, she's just going to be known as Ric Flair's daughter, because he's really the one helping her win the majority of these matches and not allowing her to stand on her own. That's a discussion for a different time. But the surprise came actually after the match, when Sasha Banks came out to another epic pop from the crowd. People have been wanting to see some kind of Sasha Banks and Charlotte match for the longest time, and they got a little bit of a preview of what that could be like at the end of this match when Banks came in and just cleared house and started attacking everybody. So I think this is a setup for what's going to be a triple threat match at Fastlane between these three women, and then ultimately we're going to see Sasha Banks versus someone at WrestleMania in a singles competition. And if the WWE plans to break records for WrestleMania 32, which by all intents and purposes they do, they need to give us matches we care about with superstars we care about. And putting Sasha Banks and Charlotte there is not only good for us as fans, but it's great for the WWE if they want to give strength to the women's division. If they want this Divas Revolution thing to mean something, then they need to have these kind of matches with women who can pull off something on the grandest stage of them all, which is WrestleMania 32, coming up in just 69 days. So that's all for the Royal Rumble 2016. Again, follow me on Twitter at Chief Josh Giola. Thank you again to TYT Sports, and you can check out all my articles now at Daily DDT. If you're a sports fan, you've probably heard of Fansided. Fansided is a great website for everything sports. They have one of their many, many arms is Daily DDT, which is everything wrestling, not just WWE. It's TNA, it's Lucha Underground, it's Pro Japan, it's everything. So make sure you go check them out. All of my articles are up there. I do plenty of them. So if you're interested in anything else I'm doing, it's right there for you.